Hey guys, so we are here with another video on my sketchpad. I wanted to talk about anxiety plateaus, or when you on the recovery journey, when you go through a period of time where you're not seeing a lot of changes. So I wanted to speak from how I experienced it and what I went through, and what are some of the things I did in order to get through such a time. But before I go on, please subscribe to the channel and yeah, let us know what you think about this. And if you're interested in our coaching services, you can, there's a link in the description below, and you can have a look at that and message us, and we'll get you in touch. So, now, for me, what the recovery process looked like was, if I had to make an initial graph about it, in the initial part of my recovery journey, and look, again, I'm just saying this is just me, it's literally different for each person. But initially, for me, I saw some like very quick, steady progress with some things, right? So, this period was really good, gave me a lot of hope, gave me a lot of insights, and it also helped like take the edge off of my anxiety. I wasn't as scared of some of my things anymore. Not completely okay, but like I could feel like there was a decrease in my level of anxiety and fear, right? So I can also write over here lower anxiety plus fear, right? Now, but then there was this period. This is where it started to plateau, right? The If I really had to chart how I felt, which was, by the way, something I was compulsively also doing, it started to feel like I that the gains, the quick gains that I saw initially, they kind of like became a straighter line, and it was like, why am I not experiencing faster gains anymore? Why do I not feel like my fear is moving forward or budging? Why don't I feel like my brain is feeling better as quickly as it did initially, right? Um, by the way, this is, I mean, this is how the recovery journey generally goes. If you look at Nick's videos as well, and sometimes he talks about how the recovery journey goes, it literally is all of this. It's up and down, sideways, all of that. And then, that's why I've written this is the mess, what it looks like, right? So this is the part where we start to question things and we start feeling very confused, and there are a lot of mixed feelings that come up, right? So in this case, so what you think and fear is happening when you hit a plateau, right? When things start to slow down, what kind of thoughts and feelings come up? I must be worse than others. It's not working for me anymore. My fear must be real. Why am I not seeing faster gains? Maybe I need to try harder. I need to make some changes. And if you see all of this, this is basically that ultimate what it is. Okay, yeah. So it's basically that, again, fear of fear that we always talk about, right? So this is ultimately that. I need to try harder. I need to try harder. And people sometimes then start chasing recovery. They start chasing good feelings. Maybe I need to, do more exposures. Maybe I need to do more this. Maybe I need to do more that. You don't have to do that, right? Because that is you then trying to force recovery, trying to force acceptance, trying to force relief, right? Now, how do we change this, or how do we deal with this? Well, what actually might be happening, because it's important to understand what the plateau might also be representative of, right? And by the way, in both scenarios, assuming that you are not coasting and you're continuing to put in the work, right? So what might actually be happening? That you may have reached some of the harder parts of recovery, which means that that's why you're seeing slower gains. That's why it's not as fast, because some of the concepts, especially let's say around more taboo themes, for example, although it doesn't necessarily have to be a taboo theme. Even someone who just has a fear of, let's say, having dementia can also feel like it's like extremely hard for them to accept that, right? So you may have reached some of the harder parts of your recovery journey, which take a lot more time to move, right? Your brain needs its own time to catch up with your new ways of thinking and behaving. So we always like to say this, that even if you were able to, let's say, cut out all your compulsions, do all your exposures, read all the books, dispute everything you needed to in the first 6 months, You will see a lot of progress, yes, but it will not guarantee you feeling completely okay still. Because, and I spoke about this in my last Fear of Fear video as well, you really have to wait for your brain to catch up with it as well. It's like saying that, I don't know, like I want to read the Bible in 6 months and feel fully embody Christianity in like 6 months. You can't do that. It's something that slowly comes as more time goes on and you gather more experience with things and you reflect more on things. The other thing, what actually might be happening is you're trying way too hard to force acceptance and make recovery go fast, which I already mentioned, right? This is also why then we see things plateauing, because we might be trying too hard, and when we don't see it, we try to push even more, and it starts becoming a bit compulsive. So this is where where we do have to continue, not coast, we have to continuing doing the things that we are doing with recovery, which I'll just get to, but we might have to slightly take the foot off the gas, right? Slightly. If you're trying too hard, right, it's important to slow down, because otherwise you're going to get compulsive about forcing acceptance. Now, what do we do about this? So, in this case, even if the progress is slow, does not give you a justification to go back and do compulsions. Don't do them, right? Stay away from them still. Keep up your reading. Don't give up the books just because it's like, oh, it's not giving me any fast progress anymore. So, to hell with it. No, keep reading it. Keep up your life structure. Don't get lazy and demotivated just because you don't get faster gains. It just means you need to stay more consistent. Don't try and rush it. Extremely important. Like literally, what's the rush? Even if you have a wedding or you have a baby on the way or something like that, still, what's the rush, right? Because if you try to work with a deadline, then you're automatically going to start feeling even more anxious, right? Get comfortable with working on recovery even after, let's say, that important event has happened, right? Being patient. Now, again, this is also something I talked about in my last video about fear as well. This is where you really need to lean into patience and practice patience. You really need to lean into that feeling, because it's not like, oh, I'm going to be patient with it as long as I'm going to see fast gains. If I'm not going to see fast gains, then I need to start getting impatient and trying to fasten the process. Don't do that, right? So this is where your ability to be patient is going to be tested the most. Stay consistent, don't step back. This is, I would say, one of the more key elements over here, right? Not making any impulsive changes, not trying to be like, okay, I'm going to step away from all of this, I'm going to go back to some compulsions because maybe I need them. I'm going to give up the books, I'm going to give up the good structure that I've built for myself. Don't do that. Stay consistent. Allowing anxiety to be there. This is also extremely important. With plateaus, not only is it that you will see slower progress, but you might start getting quite, and this will be a test of your, again, what we talk about, frustration tolerance, right? So let me just write test of frustration tolerance. This is going to be big over here. Sorry for the bad writing. You really have to be patient with anxiety being there. And this is where, as we also say, wear it like an uncomfortable coat. That skill is going to be tested the most over here, right? Because if you're trying to be like, no, but like I saw such fast progress, like, over here, and my anxiety went from like 100% down to like a 40%, but why is it still a 40%? Like, why is it not going away more quickly? Yeah, that's where you have to allow the anxiety to be there. Let it be there. And yeah, this is what overall the picture briefly of what happens when you hit an anxiety plateau. So hopefully this helps. If you have questions, let me know. And if you want me to expand on this video, I can also do that. But let me know what you want me to expand on, and we'll go from there. Thanks for watching.